JK Dobbins was born on December 17, 1998 in Houston, Texas. I mean, I wasn't there, but it says it on Wiki, so yeah. Anyways, I couldn't find anything in his preschool life, so let's just fast forward past it. And at LaGrange High, JK was not just good, he was out of this world. As a sophomore, he rushed for over 2,200 yards and 37 touchdowns. Like, genuinely, what the hell? And somehow outdid himself with 2,700 yards and 35 touchdowns as a junior. Genuinely some of the most insane stats that I've ever seen in my entire life. And he wasn't even a senior. Well, it turns out that JK didn't even get a chance to show off his last year as he got injured one game into his senior season. Damn. But nonetheless, even with all the injury stuff, JK was still a highly touted 4-star prospect with a bunch of offers as a borderline top 50 recruit in the country. After some speculation that he would sign with Texas or Oklahoma, considering that he is living in Houston, JK decided to travel up north and go to good old Ohio State. In his very first game as a Buckeye, JK rushed for 181 yards against Indiana. Not too shabby, and came after he won the starting role from 2016 Big Ten Freshman of the Year Mike Weber, who was coming back from injury.
Backpedals and flips. Dobbins on a screen, has blockers. Dobbins in the clear, in the end zone.
Well, it turns out that JK got the starting spot and ran with it that year, literally, as he had over 100 yards in 6 different games, and was the 4th freshman in Ohio State history to have over 1,000 yards on the ground. Not only was he just good during the regular season, but during the Big Ten championship game, Dobbins overtook Maurice Claret with the most rushing yards by a freshman with his 174, and then during the Cotton Bowl against USC, he set the freshman rushing record at 1403. Even after such a good first year in Columbus, JK split touches with Mike Weber as a sophomore, and yet he still had 1,053 on the ground. Fast forward to the following year, and JK had high expectations for what was looking to be his last season with the Buckeyes, and let's just say he went insane. That year, JK had 10 100-yard rushing games, including a 4-touchdown, 211-yard game against Michigan, as he became the first Buckeye in history to rush for over 2,000. Following such a phenomenal year, it wasn't much of a shock that JK forewon his senior season and entered the good old NFL draft.
Damn, we got JK Dobbins.
JK was selected 55th overall by Baltimore in a trade that sent Hayden Hurst to Atlanta, as Mr. Dobbins joined one of the most dangerous backfields in football. In his rookie year, JK had over 800 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns on the ground, which is solid on any team, especially one with potentially the most elite rushing quarterback of all time. Going into his sophomore year, JK suffered a torn ACL in the final preseason game as his season was over before it started. And then if you fast forward to the following year, after missing the first 2 games, he went in for a few and then got injured again as he only played in 7 games all season, albeit still putting up over 400 yards on the ground. If you think things couldn't get worse, well, if we just go to the following season, in week 1 against Houston, JK tore his Achilles, and his year was once again done before it even started. After only playing like 22 games in 4 years, it wasn't much of a shock that JK was shopped around. And so on April 18, 2024, he signed a 1-year deal with the LA Chargers. And to be honest, I think a lot of people forgot just how good he is. So there wasn't many expectations on what he'd do in his debut. And yet, he still did this.
Dobbins slips through it. He's got an open lane. Dobbins is taken off!
On only 10 carries, JK had 135 yards and a touchdown, which is around 30% of his last 2 years of production in only 1 game. And on only 10 carries, which is insane. Now keep in mind, he's only played in 1, so I don't know what to expect with the rest of the season, especially with his bud and Gus Edwards splitting carries. But even then, I still think JK could be one of the most prolific running backs in the league, as long as he stays healthy.
Here's Dobbins weaving his way through, and now Dobbins a foot race.
Thanks for watching this silly old video. Subscribe, like, and or dislike if you didn't like this. Either way, I hope you have a great day. Oh wait, that rhymes. And see you later.